Caden, I want to get a watch. What do you think I should get? Today we're going to talk about 5 watches that I recommend to new collectors. Naturally, I'm gonna talk about this one because for me personally, this was my first nice watch. I had the green dial 40mm variant, and I can still remember the feeling of walking out of the jewelry store with my brand new Swiss watch. And that watch is what got me going down the whole rabbit hole of getting really into watches. The particular PRX that I'm showing off in this video is the 35mm mother of pearl variant. This watch has a case size of 35mm, 10.9mm in thickness. The lug to lug without the bracelet is about 35-ish millimeters. The Powermatic 80 movement, which gives you an 80-hour power reserve. It's also Swiss made, and it has 100 meters of water resistance. In my opinion, this is one of the best watches that you could buy as a new collector. Not only does it just give you a solid watch, but it's also one of those watches that as a fellow watch person, if I see someone wearing it, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna talk to you and have a conversation with you about watches. It's got decent finishing, the design is great. On this particular one, I love that mother of pearl dial. The way it kind of glistens with that pinkish red. This sounds a little bit crazy, but to me, it actually kind of reminds me of like a Trix yogurt color. This watch could be dressed up. It could also be dressed down, and it's just a super versatile, awesome watch. I recommend this watch to people all of the time for people who maybe live a little bit more of an adventurous lifestyle. But if I want to recommend something to someone that the watch may take a bit more of a beating, I'm going to recommend this watch to that person. This is of course the Seiko 5. It's the dive style watch that kind of replaced the SKX. This watch has a 42.5mm case, though it does need to be said that it wears like a 40 because of that really short 46mm lug to lug. This watch is 13.4mm thick. It's got a 22mm lug width, and this has the Seiko 4R36 movement on the inside. That gives you about 42 hours of power reserve. This watch also has 100 meters of water resistance and has Seiko's own Hardlex crystal. If you're into the whole dive watch aesthetic, this watch is awesome for that reason. I really enjoy this blue shade dial that is on this version with the creamy lume accents. And if you have seen my previous videos, you know that I have a huge affinity for dive watches on mesh bracelets. So shown here, I think this is a fantastic looking example of the Seiko 5. Because of that really short lug to lug that I was discussing with you earlier, this watch would work great for someone with a smaller wrist, and it would also fit someone with a large wrist. It's just a really good kind of universal dive watch style size. If you clicked on this video, I'm guessing you're likely new to watches. It can be a little bit overwhelming getting into this wild hobby. One of the things that actually helped me the most in learning and helping me make my decisions was having a community around watches. Thankfully, there's a fellow community of watch nerds over on the WatchCrunch app. Go on over there and follow me and send me a message, and let's get talking watches. How many of you guys are Interstellar fans? I'm not sure why I came all the way back here. I wanted to showcase this watch because I previously owned the Hamilton Khaki Field, and that watch was such a freaking good watch. It was probably my second really nice watch, but I actually think the Khaki Murph might be a better option for someone who's new entering this hobby. This watch has a 38mm case size. It is 11.1mm thick. It's got a 44.7mm lug to lug, a 20mm lug width, 100 meters of water resistance, and this also features the Powermatic 80 movement that is found in many of the watches in the Swatch Group brand. But this particular one is the .611 movement, which does not use a plastic escapement like the PRX does. But trust me, we do not need to go down that rabbit hole right now. This watch also has a sapphire crystal, and they say that it has an anti-reflective coating, but with how aggressively it's domed, it's kind of hard to tell that it has that. This watch has such a clean and simple and legible dial layout. I love the cathedral hands. They look kind of like old school vintage Mercedes type hands, and they're just super, super legible, especially here on this black matte dial. If you're interested in just a super simple, slightly elegant watch that it has sporty specs, but if you put it on, say, a leather strap like it comes with, you could dress it up a bit. I think this is also a super versatile watch. In my opinion, 38mm is kind of that perfect in-between perfect size where it's not too small, not too big. And for just a very boring, for lack of better terms, boring watch, I think 38 is a fantastic size. And of course, maybe you like Interstellar, and then that's just another tie to that movie that is also, by the way, a freaking good movie. I have never had hands-on with any watches from this brand up until this point, but having hands-on with the Baltic MR Classic that I have here, this watch kind of blew me away a little bit. Of these 5 watches that I'm showing you, this would kind of be the designated dress choice. This watch is 36 millimeters. Thanks to that micro rotor movement, it is 9.9 millimeters thin. It's got a 44 millimeter lug to lug, and the caliber on the inside is a Chinese caliber. It is called the Hangzhou, forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, the Hangzhou Cal 5000A. And of course, this features a micro rotor. If you are new to watches, micro rotor equals cool. This watch will give you a 42-hour power reserve, and as it is a dress watch and kind of a dedicated dress watch, it only has 30 meters of water resistance, and it has a Hindsight crystal. From Baltic, they give you the option to have multiple bracelets and multiple straps, and here on the Beads of Rice bracelet, I think this looks phenomenal. It's dressy and sporty, though for me personally, I would personally put this watch on a leather strap. I think that dress watches on leather straps are the best way that a dress watch can look, and the strap that they give you is not a bad strap. Unlike all the other watches on this list, this watch has a sub-seconds dial, which gives the rest of the dial a super open layout and makes the hands kind of be in their own little world. And that, with the texture of this dial, for me, I just found to be very interesting and very nice to look at. The finishing on this watch is good. If you flip the movement to the backside and you look at that movement, even on a close macro level, this movement looks really freaking good. For me, I found this watch, for the price, to be exactly in line with what I got. 42-hour power reserve is not the longest thing ever, but again, this is a dress watch. This watch looks great on my 6.5-inch wrist, and I think this would also work great on a medium-sized wrist, though if you're a bigger individual, this may look a little bit tiny, and if you're not a fan of that, then this one may not be for you. But the Baltic kind of surprised me. And of course, last but not least, we have the brand new release from Citizen, the 37mm Tsuyosa. A while back, Citizen dropped the 40mm Tsuyosa with a ton of dial options, and I thought that for the price, it was a great watch. And then Citizen made this. This watch has a 37mm case. It is 11.5 millimeters thick. I couldn't figure out and find what the lug to lug is, but it's very similar to that 35mm PRX. This features the Miyota 8210. This has a 42-hour power reserve. This watch has 50 meters of water resistance, which is not super ideal, but it does have a sapphire crystal. Now, I know what you're thinking. Caden, you did a PRX. Why would you also do another basically PRX? The PRX is a great watch, and in my opinion, a fantastic choice for a first watch. But with this watch just being released, I kind of wanted to showcase and get this out there because I was super blown away when I got hands-on with this watch. On my 6.5-inch wrist, I think this 37mm case size is right on the freaking money. It looks so good on my wrist. I think the finishing on this is basically equal to a PRX, though the bracelet does have polished center links. Caden is not a fan of polished center links. The clasp though is solid, the finishing is good, just the whole product itself is a really solid product, especially for the price. This watch comes in at less money, and depending on which dial with the PRX you go, it comes in at a significantly cheaper price. And I think this icy blue dial that we have here looks killer. This watch could be dressy, could be sporty. The dial finish has a nice sunburst effect to it. This watch does have a lesser power reserve, and this is where I kind of want to go on a quick little side rant about power reserve. What I want to tell you guys is I think low-key power reserves are overrated. Let me tell you why. 42 hours is about 2 days, meaning if you take this watch off for 2 days and go back to it, it's not going to be running. But if you're considering buying a Citizen Tsuyosa, and especially if you clicked on this video, more likely than not, this is going to be one of your first more expensive watches. Maybe it's even your first watch to get you into collecting, and it's probably going to be on your wrist every single day. I am personally of the opinion that if you're getting a watch for everyday use, power reserve doesn't honestly really matter. And thank you for watching my rant on power reserves. At the end of the day, whatever of these designs you gravitate towards the most is, I think, what's going to be the best option for you. All of these watches are in roughly the same price. They all have a lot of similarities, but they all offer something different. So comment down below, what for you of these 5 watches would you pick? Which of these do you gravitate the most towards? Maybe which of these would you not get? For me personally, I kind of tend to gravitate the most towards either the Hamilton Murph or the Baltic MR Salmon. They are both different, but for me, I just am super drawn to both of those watches. I appreciate all of you who stick to the end of this video. I've got a gift for you. Come and look. Over here, I have got, for staying to the end of this video, an orange Ultra Panel Cone. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.